welcome everybody to another episode of As the World Burns. I am JL Folk, and today I have Wayne Mikel with me, and I am pleased to show him off because he is an absolute awesome narrator. Um, I I'm excited. We just had narrator month on the book asylum. I think it was the month of March, and we did not have enough room to get everybody in. So I'm glad to have him on my show. So welcome, Wayne. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Glad to be here. Let me correct you on the last name. It's Michael. Mike
See,
Mike with an L.
I screw up everyone's last
Oh,
name,
so
and I
do I.
don't know how I do that. I think Mickle, like Mickelson
Well, I
from
mean, the way it looks, I've gotten
German.
different, all kinds of, yeah, there is some German in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I quit following the family tree. I didn't want to know where it led to. So
That is a scary
sometimes ignorance
process.
is bliss.
Yeah, yes, agreed. So so you are a narrator. What books have you narrated?
Oh, Lordy. I've done all of Nancy Broadley's series. Well, you would put me on a spot like that. I've got 24 books that I've done already.
Okay. Can people find the books that you have narrated on Amazon?
They are on Amazon. I also have a website that has links to the search on Amazon. And as I add new books, they pop up on that search as well.
Oh, beautiful. What is your website?
My site is wayne-michael.com.
Wayne-Michael, Mikel.com.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll put that up at the bottom actually. So,
cool.
how long have you been a narrator?
Oh, coming up on about 2 years now.
Oh, wow. You've
It'll
done
be two
24
years
books
in
in 2
about the,
years?
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If I
That's
was
a ton.
to get to it like I should get to it, I could usually turn out about a book every 2 weeks.
That's amazing.
But having an outside job and
Mhm.
other adult responsibilities,
Yeah. It
you
sucks
know how that
sometimes.
goes.
Yes, I do. So, what are you do you have a specific genre that you really really enjoy reading,
I
narrating?
enjoy doing anything, but primarily what I've done is post-apocalyptic fiction.
Okay.
Nancy Broadley, DJ, I've
Yeah.
done her stuff. Why am I drawing a blank right now? It's been a
Cuz you're
long
on the
day.
spot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and you've
too.
been up
Yeah,
early.
yeah,
So
yeah.
So
That's when I'll just pull it up over here and I'll look.
yeah. Well, now I need to ask you, do you make your when you are doing female voices? Um where do you draw your inspiration for female voices?
Oh, honey, I do female voices all the time.
Oh, okay. Okay. And it doesn't sound snooty because that's one thing that I've noticed is that a lot
Oh,
of
well, I
male
can if you really want me to.
yeah, I know a lot of male narrators come across because that was my second question. Come across as very, when they're doing a female voice, they have to do it in such a way where the female kind of sounds like she's just snooty and has an attitude
Right.
all of the
Well, and there are
time.
some characters that are that way. In fact, one of
Yes.
the series that I'm working on for DJ right now, she's got one character in there that is a character. Let's
A
put it that way.
character.
Um, thinks the world revolves around her and all that kind of
Hmm.
thing. But I'm hoping to see as I go along in it because I don't read too far ahead. I only read about a chapter ahead from what I'm reading.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see towards the end that she gets hers in the end, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
That's a character I wouldn't mind seeing killed off.
So what is your studio kind of look like? Do you have like all the foam
Well, take a look in the
panels?
background. I'm in my living room.
Is it your living
I
room?
work out of my living room, seriously.
That's great.
Cat post in the back there, and you know, can't do anything whenever my son's home because he sits in the chair right next to me over there and snores to beat all hell. No filter in the world filters that out. It sounds like he's got three semis running in my living room.
That's great. What
Well, and
got
I give him a
you?
good run for his money. I snore just as loud.
What got you into narrating?
That was fun. A couple of years ago, I was in Colorado at the expo that was going on
Hmm.
out there that DJ Cooper was involved in.
Which she's having another one in this October.
Yeah, she's got another one coming up. It's for a different company. Um, and we were all sitting around the table at dinner, and it got quiet. The next thing I know, everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, "What?" Like, "We want you to narrate our books." I'm like, "Okay." And apparently they think I've got the voice for it. Hello.
Yeah, you definitely have a great voice. I mean,
So, and I've
I
done
can
some
hear it.
voiceover work for a radio station back in my younger days, and
Ah,
and just for the record, I'm turning 63 at the end of the month.
okay.
So, still young
Yeah.
enough to know better, young enough, or let's see, how's that go? Old enough to know better, young enough not to care. But they asked me to do their books, and when I got home, I got in touch with DJ and figured out what I needed. Went over to Amazon, spent $50 on a microphone, and
Mhm.
got it set up on my laptop here. And
What program do you use?
the Audacity is the one I use for recording, and then
Okay.
everything is done through ACX Audio Creation
Right.
Exchange.
Yeah.
They're the ones who upload for Amazon.
Yes.
But I'm getting set to clear out a spot in my bedroom, and I'm going to put a studio in my bedroom. It's going to have the four walls in there and the soundproofing, and
Yeah.
going to step it up and get a little bit more professional.
Oh, finally, after 2 years, huh?
Well, hey, I figure it's going to work out, so
That's awesome.
might as well.
You have a ton of work then?
I'm actually holding on 3 books right now that I need to get going on.
That's great.
Yeah, I've been behind. I haven't actually done any solid recording for several months now because during the holidays I ended up getting sick. I ended up COVID twice in the holiday season,
Ew.
and then what do they call it, a tonsil stone,
Uh-huh.
which I could do my normal voice, but I couldn't do the old man.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
couldn't do any of the women's voices.
Okay.
Anything that required a constriction of the throat, I couldn't do. So I was finally able to finish up DJ's second book in the trying to remember the series. Um,
Is it her Cincinnati Falls series?
well, she's got two.
She's got a few. She's got quite
You
a
got
few.
yeah,
That woman's a writing machine.
yeah, she is.
I absolutely adore her. She is, of course, my publisher as well. So,
Yes,
of
I'm
course, I
aware.
adore her.
Let's see. It's the Endure the Chaos series
Oh, okay.
that I'm working on.
I actually
And
have
then I'm
those books on my
also, as
Kindle.
soon as I get that one done, she's going to give me Cincy 3 because it's hit the market and we want to get it done too.
Yes. That's awesome.
But I also do books for TJ Reader. Um, I don't know if you're familiar with any of his stuff.
Mm-mm.
Writes a lot about East Texas and growing up out there and that kind of stuff, and
Okay.
Western style, but still has a little apocalyptic flair to some of it.
Right.
I like doing his stuff because they're short books and I can turn one of those out in about a week.
Nice. Do you have to
Um,
do much editing or anything like that, or do you do the best you can to try and give it a good run the first time?
I it to turn out, say, a chapter that's about 15 minutes long completed,
Uh-huh.
it takes about 25 to 30 minutes of recording and then about another hour editing. So about an hour and a half to turn out 15 minutes worth of presentable work.
Okay. Yeah, it's editing is the always
Yeah.
the biggest edit even when you're writing everything out, editing is always the biggest pain in the dupa. It's
Part
just
of what I do also, and you can see the links on the website. I also, courtesy of my mother being an English teacher,
ooh.
I had it all beat into my head for years and years.
Yeah.
I also, for a price, will edit, um, and I will check for not just the basic stuff that most editors check for. But in one book for somebody, I'm not going to name the author, but I found where they ended up switching names on one of the main characters, and I caught that, and they were able to go in and edit it out and fix all that.
Oh, that's nice.
But
My
I
editor
do
caught
that
that
I
my
do that as I'm narrating as well,
yeah. Well, you
and
have to. I mean, because
I
you
will
see
let
it.
the authors know, hey, you might want to go in and fix this.
Yeah. I had one of for my books, the way that I spelled the name Justin, it I don't know if it auto corrected it when I sent it or what, but I the way that I spelled it, the computer did not like it. And it like I think my first one might have had Justin traditionally spelled, and then the second and third are back to how I had it spelled.
What you've got
So
to remember when you're doing that, I don't know what program you're doing your
word.
typing in, Word.
Hmm.
Just remember when it shows you that little red squiggly line, when you right click on it, go down to where it says add to
Oh
dictionary.
yeah, no. I
Yeah,
add, yeah,
that's
any word
I
that
don't
I
know
need
how
to
many
keep.
times I've messed up on things like that.
Yeah, I just add to the dictionary whatever I need. Like, cause some
Yeah,
words that you spell and it just, it doesn't, or, for business names and stuff like that, you
yeah,
have to add them to the dictionary so it doesn't
yeah.
auto correct it. So,
My adding to the dictionary has gotten so big
yeah,
that
yep.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to move it to off to my hard drive, just to my
Yeah.
standalone hard drive.
So
But anyway,
when you get a book to narrate, how do you like to receive that book? Do you want it in PDF or do you want it in like the actual book form? Do you read from the paper book or
no, do not read from the paper book. I prefer Microsoft Word
okay.
because then I can lock it to where I'm not going to do any editing to it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's sent that way. I can unlock it if I need to, but I usually don't. But then I can make it big enough for me to see.
Got it.
That's the one thing at this age is these are bifocals now, but I'm waiting for the phone call from the eye doctor. It's going to be straight reading glasses from here on out.
Oh boy.
So, the bigger I can make it, the better. And PDF only goes up so big before it starts to fuzz out on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Microsoft Word, and then I've got a separate monitor off to the side over here that I put the manuscript up on,
Uh-huh.
and that helps.
Well, that's wonderful. How many hours a day do you generally get in for to like narrate and then edit?
On the days that I'm not working my outside the house job,
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to get anywhere between 3 and 6 hours.
Okay.
Usually, yeah, I have an insomnia thing, so I'm up sometimes before the birds are even out there chirping and
Right.
recording.
Okay.
And I'll get 4 or 5 chapters recorded, and then I'll sit there, well, there's noise outside the house, and we're 2 blocks from a school, so it gets a little noisy whenever the high school band starts their practices and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another reason for the studio in the bedroom.
Yeah. I bet.
And then I'll sit there whenever it's noisy, or I'll take the files with me when I go to work, because when I work nights, I sometimes go 7, 8, 10 hours without even seeing a driver come through,
Yeah.
and I'll get the editing done there.
Nice. That's
But
helpful.
generally, I try to get in at least 3 hours a day. Doesn't always happen.
Right.
Hasn't happened for a couple of weeks because of my work schedule, but
Yeah.
getting
And
back to it, I'm training somebody that's going to take over the during the week stuff.
hmm
And as soon as she's finished training, that means I won't have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work
oh,
an
that'll be
hour away.
beautiful. That'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I know
Save me
that.
on some gas too.
Yeah. Right.
Talking
It's
about
rough
that
out there.
$3 gas.
Oh, your guys is at 3? We're at 4.
Let's see. I'm sitting right now. 352 is what I paid yesterday when I gassed up.
We're at 405 out here in Arizona.
Yeah. Well, I'm out
It's
in Oklahoma.
it's rough out here.
Yeah. Um, my brother lives out in California, up there in Northern California, and he's told me that rarely gets below 5 anymore.
Yeah, you can't even count them anymore in our economy because they just
No.
them in New York, they blow everything up out of proportion.
Yeah,
And
what do you
they're the
expect when they want
outliers.
$20 an hour to flip burgers? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anyway, but we digress. Easy to do
Exactly.
when talking to me.
So, when you do get 5 minutes to kind of just relax, what kind of stuff do you like to do?
Usually I fall asleep in my chair. No, I'm on social media a lot, just trolling. I'm not trolling, scrolling. Maybe a
Okay.
little bit of trolling too, who knows?
Maybe a little trolling. Do you
But,
do you
on
listen to audiobooks or anything like that or
uh, not usually. I've got my, uh, credits that I use,
Mhm.
and I'll get on it. I've downloaded several books from other narrators.
Mhm.
Got one narrator that I'm not gonna mention, but, I use him to put myself to sleep.
I have one that I absolutely cannot listen to. Cannot. So I'm that author, I'm going to have to read their books because I can't.
Maybe once the, recording stops here, you could tell me who that is. We'll see if it's the same person.
Yeah, we'll talk after.
Yeah.
But and that I guess was my next question. Do you have people that you really try to emulate when you're doing your own book, or do you you're just trying to do you but you like to listen to these other narrators?
I have listened to some of the others, just to get ideas,
Mhm.
and, uh, I picked up a series for AJ Newman or A
Mhm.
Newman?
Yep,
Yeah. Sorry, it's been a long day.
it's okay.
Um, and I picked it up from book 2 because, his original narrator, Miles, his studio and home burned down, and he
Oh.
hasn't got his studio and home, rebuilt yet as far as we know.
Mhm.
So I picked it up and I tried to be as close to his for the main character as possible.
Mhm.
The comments on the reviews, why'd you switch authors in the middle of the book series and blah, blah, blah. And, we don't like this new guy. And of course, now after 24 books, I'm starting to get my groove. And if you listen to the first books I did of Nancy's versus the books I'm doing for DJ now,
Uh-huh.
you're going to see a big difference. In fact, I'm thinking about going through and re-editing the book of Nancy's stuff and then
Mhm.
having them re-upload it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
you could do that.
I don't know if we can or not, but I'm going to try.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, yeah. Might
So,
take me another year, but
are there any like you don't have to tell me specifically specific characters, but are there any character types that you do not like to voice
I'll do just about anything.
as long
You
as
know,
the pay is right?
well, as long as I get paid when the book sells, yeah. If you're trying to skirt your way around, do I do the alternative characters as far as the LGBTQ? I'll do them. I don't care. Um, I'm a supporter of that stuff. I mean, my daughter bats for the other team, and you know, she says, "Do what you got to do to make a money, Dad." Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
make the money so you can loan me money. But
Make
no,
the
I
money
don't.
so I
I
can
don't
borrow.
care. Um, because it's just a character in a book. It's not who I am,
Right. Because
and
I don't know
I'm
if
sure the listeners understand that. I mean, because they've got an idea what this character sounds like, and like do I get a little bit sketchy on some stuff? Yeah, I mean, I know it's just vocalizing like a wife beater or something like that, but or a there's a couple of books that I've done that have hardcore rape scenes
yikes.
that you know, and some of the language and the way they talk to the women and stuff in the books,
Hmm.
that's not how I am, but I just,
But you still
it's a
you're reading it
character.
and you're yeah,
Yeah, it's a
that's got to
character.
still
It's
be
not
hard.
me.
Right.
And people
I
really freak
didn't
out when I read those characters whenever they realize that I'm also an ordained minister.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Hey, got to pay my tithes somehow.
It's right, it's a job. But- so I guess how do you feel that I guess just took care of that question. How did you feel about, cursing and stuff like that in some of these books because I know some of them get graphic. I know I have a
That doesn't bother
questionable
me.
I have a questionable scene in one of my books where I'm like, I don't know if that went a little too far. I don't have I don't have because my first two books are female characters. I don't have anyone to do those. I'm probably going to do them myself. I'm not sure, but um I know it's not something you can just jump into, but you've had experience in radio and doing voice acting. Have you thought about doing do you go on ACX and like check out other jobs or anything like
Oh
that
yeah,
that you could?
yeah.
Okay.
I go on quite often, and I look for anything that's like the short books, anything under three
Mhm.
hours, something that I could turn out in 8 hours of working.
Right.
Just to take a break from the post-apocalyptic genre.
Right.
Um, if you look at the list that I've got, okay, where'd it go?
One thing I've noticed on ACX, there's a lot of manuals that they
Yeah,
have up
and
there.
like, how do you read a recipe book?
How do you read a manual on how to fix
Yeah,
whatever, whether it's
yeah,
brakes
yeah.
or whether it's just, yeah, there's some really
How
weird
to be a
manuals out
tourist
there.
without acting like a tourist? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. They got some crazy books out there, how to, or,
yeah,
fix it DIY stuff. And it's just, that cracks me up. I'm like, so they're and in their description it's don't be monotone but don't be too cheerful and you're like well what do you want
yeah.
you know
Yeah, I
so,
usually just read everything. The main character is just my voice normally, like you're hearing me now.
hmm
And then, if it's a younger version of that character, well, I can younger it up a little bit,
yeah
and then when we get into the older characters, but you know, a
does
book's a
it
book, and I'll read it how it needs to be read.
does it
I'll
bother your
usually
vocal
send
cords?
do what?
Does it bother your throat when you do those
Certain
older
voices
characters? Yeah.
will, yes, certain voices do, but you know, got to do what you got to do.
Right, right. It's
Um,
very interesting work.
it's been fun. It's really has been. And my day job, I deal with truck drivers,
hmm
and when I tell them that I'm narrating books, oh, right, where can I get them? Where can I get them? So I give them a business card with the uh, website on it,
hmm
and they go. And I've had a couple of them actually be listening to my books as they're driving in the driveway where I work,
Nice.
and I'm going, wait a minute, I'm
I know
hearing
that
myself.
voice.
What the hell?
Very interesting.
It was kind of surreal hearing your own book as somebody's driving past you.
Yeah, yeah. So are there any ones that you would never consider doing?
Well, not really. I mean, I'm working for one of the authors I work with, working on a reverse harem book right now.
I know who
And
that
what's
is.
with the little chuckle there?
I know who that is.
Uh huh.
I
We
wanted to
both
be in
do.
that anthology, but it never went through. So, but she's got her
Uh,
whole book out. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That I'm just working on when I get a chance, and
hmm
I'm having to throw in a. It's supposed to be a Scottish voice, but it's kind of Scottish Highland or Scottish Ireland mashup, but it gets the point across.
Well, how do you get ready for those kind of different voices, the different dialects from like different nationalities? Do you watch
Well, I
things
mean,
that are
I've been around a lot
predominantly?
of it growing up, and having lived in California, Hispanic voices are no problem.
hmm
And the people that call you from Microsoft technical support also no problem. The ones that get, like the the Asian and some of the European stuff, I will sit and I will watch a movie or listen to somebody else's book over and over and over
Mhm.
until it's ingrained in the brain.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't have to do that too much.
Because my first book is um a woman who came from the UK and came to Ohio. So she still got her little
Well,
posh
dearie, we'll
she
see
still
what we
got her
can
little
do.
posh accent, you know. So she's but she's I mean she's pretty in the book. She's been here for a minute, so most of her speech is very Americanized. Just
She's got
when
the
she gets
American colloquialisms down, and
yeah, when she gets angry though, it comes out. Her British comes out. So, and I
yeah,
even wrote it like that. And I was like, I could, because she's a real life person who I know in the UK.
aha,
So
okay.
when I was writing the book and I wrote it out, I was like, oh, I could hear her saying that, you know? So it's like, it was so fun, so much
That
fun.
always helps from the writer standpoint.
Yeah, it
I've got
does.
one that I'm working on, trying to write a book, but I'm at a standstill because I can't figure out how to bring it to an end.
So this is your book that you're
Yeah,
writing?
yeah, I've been working on it for 6, 7 years.
Is this your first book?
My only one, yeah.
What are you waiting for?
I'm trying to figure out how to bring it to an end.
Bounce ideas that get in the groups, talk to
Well,
people.
it's been put out there on in with segments of it out there on one of the groups that I'm on, and everybody likes the way it's rolling, but I just don't. It's a partial apocalypse kind of a thing
Hmm.
where the middle section of the United States got hit with
Uh-huh.
an EMP, and we're all down, and they're having to bring in the transformers and wire and everything from other countries, and it's just taking forever to get everything back up and running. And I'm a ham radio operator in real life, and so I'm
I think
putting
that's
that
so
into the
cool.
book. I'm sorry.
That is so cool. That
Oh,
is so
yeah.
cool. That should be taught in schools.
It really should. It really
Yeah.
should. Alternate communication. They should also teach cursive in school too, but
Yeah. That a lot
but
of things they should be teaching in schools that they're not.
yeah, that's why I'm trying. That's why I've been running for my school board out here. Is I want to try and get. Anyway, that's a whole nother podcast.
Wow. You're a busy guy. You really do a
I
lot.
try to be. I try to be. Um,
Th- that's awesome. So what is the the man that is Wayne? What is it that you're what kind of things do you like to do? What, besides work, not work, and besides sitting in your chair snoring, what kinds of things
well, that's the main one right there.
do you like to
Um,
get out and do? Obviously, you're huge in your community because you really love your area, you love your community,
I
and
do.
you
I do. I was a volunteer firefighter for 36 years
thank you very
and
much.
retired from that about 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago now. Um, Still stop whenever I see something going on, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the blood. In fact, just yesterday, I stopped and assisted at a rollover accident before the cops even got there.
Yikes.
So, but me, kind of don't really have room for it here at this house, but gardening. Um, I live in the city. It's a small city, but it's still city.
Right.
Most people would call it rural. I mean, the whole county is only 26,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a house directly behind me on the same property that has been condemned, and they're fixing to tear it down. It's
Hmm.
been there 75 years. Can you imagine what the soil underneath that's going to be like for planting a garden?
Amazing.
Nah, I can't wait till they get it tore down.
It's gotta be amazing.
Tear it down. I want my garden. I even talked to my next door neighbor, told her she could use part of the land for a garden too.
Nice.
Just stay out of my vegetables. I don't know. I love going to movies. Me and my son go hit a movie. We try to hit at least one movie a month, probably more than that if we both have a day off at the same time. Um, I love being on social media. I would love to actually take a road trip and meet some of the people that, I've got to know on social media.
Hmm.
Um, I think DJ's next deal is coming up in, I want to say in May, is it?
Um, she's got a Thrive Self Reliance Expo that will
Yeah,
be it's actually October 11th,
October.
11th, 12th, and 13th. I
Okay.
will be
By
there.
then I should be retired, so I should be able to
I will
get
not
to
be
that.
retired, but I will be there.
Well,
So,
I told my boss that September, I'm done. I wanted to
okay,
be done last September, but she talked me into one more year. I've had 4 heart attacks since 2016.
Mamma Mia.
So I'm about done stressing myself out being at work and getting up at three
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning to drive an hour to be at work
Yep.
and dealing with, for lack of a better term, idiots,
Yeah. Yeah. I get
which includes
that.
management sometimes.
100%. I
Hey,
know that road all too well. I know that
it's
road
not
all
that
too
they
well.
try to be, it's just that's the way they come across to me.
Right. Right.
Especially when your management is all younger than you, it's like,
Yes.
okay, I got to listen to these college people and try to play nice. And I'm just looking forward to having time for myself. I haven't been fishing or hunting in over 25 years.
But you're not retiring from narrating.
No, retiring from private security work. I've
Right.
done,
But you're not, but you're still going to be doing
oh, I'm
narration
going to
and
narrate until I'm on my deathbed, and then I'll probably
narrate.
narrate for the last breath.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good to
And
know because then if people do go to your website, which is at the bottom,
I
Wayne
keep
hyphen
seeing it
Michael.
scroll across there. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Wayne hyphen Michael.com. You guys can go there and check him out, check out what he has done, and then message him if you do want him to narrate your book.
Yeah, there's a
So,
way on there that you can message me and hit me up if you're scrolling through and looking and you see a book that you want, and I'll shoot you a uh, code for getting one for free as long as you give me a good review on Amazon and on
there you
Audible.
go. There you go. So, we will
And this
it's
hour flew by.
yeah, it's real quick. So we have pretty much come to, the end. Why don't you tell people if they can find you on Facebook, what name are you under on Facebook? I already said the website, Wayne
I'm under
hyphen
the same name on Facebook, Wayne
Wayne
Mikel.
hyphen Mi- Wayne hyphen Michael.com is his website. Wayne Mikel on Facebook. Go ahead and check him out. Um, Definitely, if you are an author that is in need of a strong male voice, this guy got it. This guy has
Appreciate that.
it. So definitely check out his books. You can find him on Amazon as well, but definitely there's a link you had said on your website. The books will link up
Yeah,
to
when you go to
Amazon
the
if you click on
website, there's 2 buttons on there that says shop here and shop here too. When I first started, I was going as WT Michael, my initials,
uh-huh.
but then, got tired of trying to remember that, so I just went back to Wayne Michael.
Easy to
It's
remember.
easier. 63 years of saying it.
I don't know. I have business cards and a name tag that tells me what I'm doing and who I am. So,
If I wore a name tag, I'd have to turn it upside down so I could read it.
yeah, it's not for you, it's for me.
Yeah, yeah. "Hey, your name
Thank
tag's
you.
upside down." "No, it ain't."
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Wayne. You're a
"No, no
blast.
problem."
Thank you. And definitely check him out and give him a go and see if anybody wants their books narrated, give him a holler. And we appreciate you guys coming with us and hanging out with us today. Thank you so much, Wayne, and we will talk to you in another week. See ya. This
Alright,
is As the
sounds
World
good.
Burns.
Talk to you guys later.